All right, so we got Random and Cheeserdude for round 6. Cheeserdude, relatively new to the scene. I personally have not seen them around before. And Random, on the other hand, we all know good old Random. So Random at this point, though, on the cusp of not making the top cut. So a win will give Random a much better chance of making top cut. Right now, Random 3 and 2 would need to win to get 4 and 2, and I believe there will be some X and 2s that make the top cut. So we will see by the time this round ends whether or not Random will get in. So let's go ahead and get into round 6 of OLS number 14. I don't know yet. We are getting in the game, so I'm going to go ahead and head on over. I have been mulling that over, because generally speaking, like, you'd have to push a little bit in Masters. Right now, I think there's like just over 700 people in Masters.
Yeah, I think they said like right now 10 LP is the cutoff or something.
Yeah, so you can basically gonna win like 1 or 2 games and you're in.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe because like what's worst case scenario?
There's no reason not to, right?
Well, yeah, worst case scenario, you play, you don't make top cut, and then we could always restream the top cut.
Yeah.
Or best case, you make top cut, and who the hell cares because you're in the top cut.
Worst case, you make top cut, and you're like, crap, I can't restream, and then you lose immediately.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm taking the L. Dedication.
Oh god, dang it.
Can I cast my own game? Does that work?
I would actually love to stream a tournament just once because I feel like I would just dress up as all the other streamers. Like, you tune in for one game, I have rented a motel so that I can get the BBG aesthetic. Next game, you come back, I'm in my room, we got the glasses and the hat and a fake mustache.
Then I put on a wig and play with my hair the whole time, like Swim. So, and who can forget? We're gonna do the throwback to Prismat and just wear a bathrobe during one of the games.
I was going to change my client to whatever language Winding God speaks and then turn off my camera.
That's a good one. That's a good role play. Oh man, are we at that point where we have to do a poll now as to if people just don't want us to do ASMR because it'll be that bad on their ears?
Look, if it's that bad on your ears, you can just tune out for that game.
Yeah, just mute us. Or just tune in, but just mute us. It's fine. It's like you'll barely be able to hear us anyways, right? So either turn the volume up or turn it down. It's up to you. So on the side of Cheeserdude, I was just looking at his decks quick.
Yeah.
We got this. I feel like is probably the as standard as you'll get of a lineup right now, and that is Ezreal Swain, Fiora Shen, Feel the Rush. Right? I feel like that's the kind of like, if you don't know what the hell you're doing and you don't know what you want to bring, just take these 3 decks and you'll probably do all right. But again, I feel like a lot of people have started, like you just mentioned, switching from Ezreal Swain to Ezreal Draven. And, I mean, Fiora Shen is just, it's been sticking around for a while. I feel like Barrier Demacia is the way to play Demacia, man. What happened to Bannerman and Scouts? Where the hell did that deck go?
I mean, Harrowing Elites is coming back a little bit because it is probably the best Demacia deck into Go Hard, just because they pack their bags and then you get to play a For the Fallen and get your entire board back. You know, there are some considerations, like pack your bags isn't super popular in tournaments just yet. You know, maybe you still have to wait on that, but I mean, Bannerman just doesn't feel as effective, I guess. You know, just people don't like Allegiance right now, unless you're named Ghost or Driver. Shout out to that guy for sticking with it the entire time, saying, no, this is the Legends of Runeterra mechanic, and I am a Legends of Runeterra player. I must Allegiance.
I summon Bannerman and press A. That is how you play this game. And Vile Feast onto the Trundle always feels good. See if Cheeser has a response. It looks like
and there's the troll chant.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
The Spiderling doesn't feel nearly as good, but that does mean, very critically, that Feel the Rush is off the table for the next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is a good play on the side of Random to at least put Cheeserdude down to 11 here.
Unfortunately for Random, because that tapped Random out of Ruination mana, I feel like that's not necessarily Cheeserdude saying, oh no, I misplayed, I don't get my Feel the Rush down. I don't think he had Feel the Rush, or he probably would have just let the Trundle die and then go for it while Random's only on 8 mana.
Yeah. And going deep, too, on the side of Random, so things starting to look up here. We're 16 out of 25 towards the Nautilus level up, or not Nautilus, Maokai.
The Maokai, yeah. Actually 18.
Is that? Oh yeah, 18. Sorry, I had to re-click it.
So a couple of blocks this turn, followed by a Jettison. Could get us there. Jettison Salvage even is going to get us one away. So actually, yeah, the Maokai is going to level this turn. Or would if we didn't throw down a Devourer onto the Tryndamere. There's nothing that Cheeser should be able to do to stop this one. And yeah, I mean, obliterating a Tryndamere feels absolutely great for Random. You love that trade. And the Thorny Toad actually stronger than the Maokai thanks to the Avalanche earlier, so you can't even kill that. And yeah, that toss is actually going to be all it takes for the Maokai to level this turn with the Jettison.
Yeah, and there it is. Oh, wait. Is it one
I
off?
had to make sure that there were 4 cards left to toss.
Well, it's... Oh, no, yeah, it is 4. Okay, cool. So are there 4 cards? Yeah, there's 10 left in deck, so...
Yep.
We're good to go.
And, yeah, Maokai is leveled. Feel the Rush is basically off the table.
Yeah, that's crazy. We actually leveled the Maokai before we're even able to play the Field of Rush, so I guess that's an option when you're playing deep, you know? Your opponent's trying to pull 10-10s out of the deck. Well, let's just pull their deck out of the player. So, bye-bye to all but 4 cards, and Cheeserdude going to be in a rough spot now.
Yeah, probably going to lose the Pillar this turn to this Devourer of the Depths. You're picking up the Maokai, not the best top deck. You would love to find a Nautilus in this situation, but I'm trying to think of what Cheeserdude could try to do to come back into this one. Now, there are a couple of options. You know, if there was a second copy of Tryndamere in the hand, you do at least still have a large Overwhelm unit. Unfortunately, I don't think Trundle's spell is going to work out super well for you here. That is a very large mana commitment to throw down each turn, and even takes attack off the Trundle each time that you do it to just try and survive something like that. But your main win con is off the table. There's an Alpha Wildclaw. That's not a bad start. There are still a couple of big units in the deck, but I don't know if you're actually going to be able to get through Random's defenses, especially now that he has 2 Nautilus, you know, going to be able to play that and still have a copy of Riptide available on the next turn. Things are feeling really good for Random right now.
And Alpha Wildclaw, I still love the fact that that card has come back in full force here. Not really going to do too much in this particular matchup, unfortunately, now that the Maokai is on the table and leveled, but good to see such an old school base set card thriving, one that really hasn't seen play up until maybe a month or so ago. And even got the Sat Magic in hand, the extra copy of Maokai. It doesn't really matter now since he is already on board. 2 Nautilus too, like, you know. So on top of not only just having Nautilus, we will eventually get Nautilus's Riptide in hand, which means if Cheeser does somehow manage to get some other large threat on the board, it can just be Riptided away. Vile Feast feels bad.
I wasn't crazy about playing the Jaw Hunters there. I would have liked to save mana for the Nautilus, but maybe that's playing a little bit too safe. You don't need to go for something like that, especially because if you're going to die, it's pretty likely to be on the attack here out of Cheeserdude. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you have the kill onto the Trundle with this Devourer of the Depths. You don't have a kill onto the Alpha Wildclaw, and this is still a lot of overwhelm damage coming in at you. You know, Atrocity might be the lethal, so maybe you did need to save the mana for this Nautilus's Riptide.
Is Atrocity... If you block with Maokai, that's 2, 3, that's 5. No, you're still outside of Atrocity range with these blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're
feeling good.
We're good. We are good. Not to mention, you could have even sacrificed this Thorny Toad underneath the Aversion Trapper to heal 2 more. So I think no matter what, we would have been good to go here. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got.
What are we lining up here, Cheeser? A Vengeance, perhaps?
Ooh, Vengeance changes things a little bit. I mean, if he does have Vengeance and an Atrocity in hand, that's something to worry about. Okay, nothing.
Nope, just going to let the combat go through. Maybe he has the Atrocity and was thinking, what does it look like if I just throw this Trundle at face, but deciding that he needed to get the Devourer off the field. Since the rest of Cheeserdude's board is going to get cleaned up here, you are just going to be left with this Alpha Wildclaw. Here comes the Nautilus, maybe the Shipwreck Order. That is going to put you at 3 cards in deck, so you're actually really likely to draw a treasure next turn. Or if you want them now... Oh, no, I was going to say if you want them now, you could Sat Magic, but no, your Maokai died. You actually can't Sat Magic to draw all the treasures. Here's Alpha Wildclaw number 2.
Wow, okay, that is a lot of overwhelm damage, right? So, I mean, there's, I guess, maybe some outs here for... yeah, no, never mind. Now that Nautilus hits, I don't think there's any outs. I think that's just off the table now. And honestly, both of these can now get blocked and take 0 overwhelm damage. And okay, that's a lot of champions. You got 2 Riptides.
What do we have here? Ruination? I mean, even Ruination, you know, we could go for...
Yeah, you go for Missed Call. Screw it. I mean, you got...
You might hit the Thorny Toad, but there are sea monsters in deck that could get tossed now. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't hit any of the treasures.
Yeah, I vote Missed Call. Yeah.
Because if you hit Nautilus, the game just ends, right?
Yeah, basically. You're going to, attack for 13. Your opponent only has 1 draw left anyways, so... Hey, just as good.
Shipwreck. Oh!
Wow! Gotta love those cards.
Hits both the treasures as well.
I gotta say, I love how the treasures are still actually, like, they're better than Celestial cards in my mind. Like, if you get a treasure in hand, it feels better, I think, than getting a one-off Celestial that you actually have to pay for, mind you.
Yeah, and now you even have the 2 additional treasures in deck, and you got, in my opinion, the 2 best ones in the Plate Room Egg and the Treasure Trove. Yeah. Okay, we did have another Trundle in hand, but we're out of cards in deck, so unless this Trundle can somehow kill our opponent, then Random is going to pick up game number 1 against Cheeserdude.
Yeah, there we go. This is just going to get blocked, or hell, you can even just let it go through, I think, and it won't matter.
Yeah, and that means there are no 8+ cost mana cards in the hand of Cheeser outside of that Ice Pillar. What is this, Atrocity? Yeah, that's a pitiful Atrocity. It's even going at Cheeser's own
Couldn't even kill himself. What is this? Jesus. And yeah, all right. So that means Random is going to go ahead and take game 1 there. Going to give himself a shot of making the top cut. Again, we're not sure if X and 2s will be able to make it, but we will see once the standings come out after this round. Random currently X and 2 would need to win to give himself a shot. And Cheeserdude X and 1 also needs to win to basically guarantee himself a spot, but losing might actually just kick him out of the top cut entirely.
It's possible. It would suck. You know, theoretically, Cheeser would be the highest seeded X and 2. Random definitely needs to win this one if he's going to have any chance of making it in. And, you know, even if he does win here, there's a chance that he gets like 9th, 10th, 11th place even.
What, Random?
But you always go for it.
Are you talking about Random that might get that place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Random currently sitting at 3 and 2. I would imagine that it was the Mina Swiftfoot Field of Rush that was banned for Random. You know, generally if you have Field of Rush in your lineup, you do not want to run into the Mina Field of Rush. So it should be the Mono Targon coming up next for Random.
So we did have Cephalopod did win. So Cephalopod is
that was fast.
4 and 2, I believe. Yes. So, and he is the top ranked X and 2 so far, because there is also Trexler at X and 2 in 8th place. So just based on what the current standings worked in. So yeah, I don't know, maybe his opponent didn't show up or something, but
it's very possible. I mean, at X and 2 a couple players are dropping.
Well, we'll see what happens here in just a second. Or not just a second, more like a few turns. more like a half hour or so. So
yeah.
All right.
In the blink of an eye, 30 minutes from now.
All right, so what do we got here? We have this Field of Rush deck once again. Oh, I didn't even realize this either. Random is actually playing Field of Mina.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool stuff. But he's playing Diana Leona. I just can't get on his side for that. Oh, man. Playing the...
Well, maybe you'll change your mind here and pick up a win against this Field of Rush deck out of Cheeserdude, who looks like... Well, you know, if there's no ramp here for Cheeser, and I'm hard-pressed to imagine there's not, yeah, there is going to be the Catalyst, not wanting to wait for Random to attack to play super efficiently on the health pool. I don't think it matters too much. But yeah, now Trundle potentially going to come down on the Falling Turn. We do have a Falling Comet for the Trundle straight away if we want to go for that, but generally you want to save that for the Tryndamere if you can, or at least something that came out of a Field of Rush. But no, it's Kindly Tavern Keeper. No high-value threats coming out of Cheeser just yet, and that means we are safe to Mountain Scryer. Guaranteed going to hit this one, as it is Mono Targon.
Yeah, I will say, in Random's build, have we always been seeing Lunari Duskbringer in these builds?
In the Diana decks, we always see it. We generally see Unspeakable, Lunari Duskbringer, and Lunari Shadestalker for sort of the Diana level-ups as well as the Pale Cascade. I don't know. It feels really all in to me. I've never been a fan of Duskbringer outside of Nightfall, and personally, I'm not a Nightfall player, so I hate 1-drops. You all know that about me. You've seen enough of my cast to know how much I hate 1-drops. It's just not my style.
Yeah, I really feel like I would only play it in Nightfall aggro. Or Nightfall, I feel like people have argued whether or not that's mid-range or aggro, but whatever. Nightfall, whatever you want to call it.
If every card in your deck costs 3 or less, I'm calling it aggro.
Yeah, basically. That about sums it up there. But this is going to be a pretty big stun with the Leona. This is going to mean a pretty decent attack, too, if we do swing with everything. And, alright, just swing it with the Leona. So we're going to take the 3 damage on the side of Cheeserdude. We'll see if we're able to muster up a decent field here, a decent attack on the side of Random. You know, we don't have another Leona in hand yet, so we can't go with the champion spell strategy. That's pretty big to get that right now on the side of Cheeserdude, which means next turn we have Field Rush online because we do have the 2 mana banked. We will be at 10 mana Enlightened next turn. Things are happening pretty quickly for Cheeserdude.
Yep, and we are currently at just taking 7 damage from the Alpha Wildclaw. Maybe we go for a Star Shaping. We actually, funny enough, we have double Falling Comet if there is a Field Rush out of Cheeserdude on the following turn.
Double reduced cost Falling Comet, no less. So, and I imagine we're going to get probably... Oh, no more removal here. Just Cosmic Rays.
Yeah, gonna go for the Great Beyond as sort of the follow-up turn after we get down this double Falling Comet.
The worst feeling, though, is going to be if we double Falling Comet into just a second.
Oh, actually, we don't have mana. I'm sitting here looking at Cheeserdude's mana pool to try to figure out what we have. No, we're only going to be able to play 1 Comet.
This turn.
Obviously, that's going to hit the Tryndamere, but it's Avalanche to start things off.
No Field of Rush. I mean, might be trying to open with it on the next turn, Cheeserdude.
Yeah, I would imagine that generally you want to play Field of Rush on your turn so that your opponent has less cards to react with. The scary part about that is there are 4 unplayed Celestials in your opponent's hand. There is always the chance that one of them is a Supernova.
Yeah, not lucky enough to get Supernova. We do have 2 Falling Comets, which is just about the same thing, kind of. So, Leona is going to get leveled up, though, so that is pretty big. Tom Kench Raka is aggro. That is a hot take. I mean,
it's because I said everything that if your deck costs 3 or less, I'm calling it aggro.
I mean, honestly, it can be aggressive if you just
look. Tom Kench costs 4 mana. All right, it doesn't apply to Tom.
Oh wow, yeah, they use that one.
They get around it.
Oh jeez.
All right, so not a great hand on the side of Random, but he at least does have the defenses to stop developmental attacks on the side of Cheeserdude. Having this Leona Ravoon combo available, the more that Cheeser tries to develop, the more that Random's going to be able to stun. And, ultimately not looking terrible for him. Actually is going to get the kill onto the Alpha Wildclaw thanks to the Pale Cascade onto the Serpent, not going in for the Ravoon attack, not wanting to push the damage onto it, getting blocked by something like a Tavern Keeper, opening yourself up to an Avalanche, because you really do need to try and keep this combo online. I would imagine Falling Comet's going to have to come down onto the Trundle after it levels the Pillar, but that's not the end of the world, because at the very least your opponent is out of Field of Rush range, but another copy of Tryndamere or another copy of Trundle coming down is still going to kill this Ravoon, and there's just nothing you can do about that one, because you do not have a card that you can play to Daybreak and Comet in the same turn.
And as you would call it, we have a Sun Disk in hand. So we'll see if Sun Disk is going to be helpful here. It looks like we are going to play it on a defensive turn, which does shut down basically the entire attack turn. I don't know if I love this, though, because this isn't even a Field of Rush turn. And I don't know, this just feels not optimal use of the Sun Guardian. But it does still shut down the attack. It does get you that Daybreak to stun out the Trundle here. And basically gives you a free block if they do decide to go with anything else. It looks like they're not going to.
I will say I'm a little surprised to see the Sun Guardian instead of the Eclipse Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, because you still would have gotten the Daybreak effect.
And you still would have... I mean, you would have reduced the cost on one of the... Oh, well, it'd actually have to be the Great Beyond that gets the reduced cost. I forgot that Eclipse Dragon doesn't reduce the cost of Celestial spells.
Yeah, and honestly, the consideration might be to want to get the Nightfall effect out of that dragon so that you can specifically get, I mean, the Nightfall is arguably a little bit better in most situations just because it generates more value. And it looks like that is, in fact, what we're going for here. Obviously going to get the Daybreak effect as well with the Ravoon on the field.
Going to get Kadrigan the Infernal and the Serpent. Now the question is, does the Serpent eat up the cost reduction of the Eclipse Dragon? I do believe it does, because if you hover it, it says Eclipse Dragon -2 cost, but a Ruination comes out of Cheeser.
That's the second one, right?
Is it really?
I think that's the second one that we've seen already, and there's 2 in deck, so that's all the Ruinations gone.
No, we're not. We didn't see one earlier.
I could have sworn we did, no?
I'm scrolling through the sidebar. I'm not seeing one.
Really?
You think it'll last game?
You lie. Don't lie to me.
What turn was it played on?
Oh. You gonna ask me what turn? It's like, what turn did the first Leona get played on? Oh, wait.
You got the sidebar?
Right. Oh, I think I just scrolled up to it. Hold on. Figures. You, Ari. Damn you, Ari, interrupting my sidebar scrolling. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, so unfortunately, no Supernova on the side of Random means that he's not going to be able to sort of stutter step this as effectively as he would want to be able to obliterate both of these before he takes the damage. So he is going to eat, quite a bit of damage here if he really, really wants to. And I mean, he's got to really want it. You could play it's so awkward because you would want the Leona to stun the Trundle and then you can Hush block the Tryndamere, but that's not available. Leona's going to stun the Tryndamere and then the Hush doesn't work as effectively onto the Trundle. So instead we are just going to Falling Comet the Trundle to start things off because that is the more threatening attacker as it is going to get bigger. We're just going to have to accept the damage from this Tryndamere. Might as well go to 5. It's not that different from 6 and we can obliterate that after the fact, but the damage is done.
Yeah, so bye-bye Trundle as well. So now I guess the question on the side of Random is, will we be able to reestablish a dominant field presence here? There is, in fact, still 1 Ruination left. That was not the second Ruination. So we do risk just developing further into yet another Ruination. And right now, most of these units just cost a lot. So if we develop something like a Great Beyond that just gets, head-on into some sort of removal, or this Cadrigan, might be a problem for Random here. So we'll see what Cheeserdude has as a response to this good old 9-6. 9-6 that basically is not going to do much. This card, man.
I forgot that Great Beyond has the text,
it's dragon.
I am a dragon.
Yeah.
So it does get buffed up by Cadrigan, and it looks like we are sort of playing towards a one-shot Great Beyond, which is going to be a lot harder since the Kindly Tavern Keeper did come down. But at the moment, the Great Beyond is sitting at 13 attack.
Wouldn't there just be a way to put like a dual keyword at the top? Like I don't understand why that's not.
The fact that we didn't block the Cadrigan is really scary here for Random. What is Cheeserdude planning with this 7 mana and this Kindly Tavern Keeper?
Wait, what? Nothing apparently.
Here's the Ice Pillar.
This all seems really weak now from Cheeserdude, just passing up that 7 mana and then leading with this Pillar. I mean, the Pillar's kind of just like a free card anyway, so I guess that technically doesn't matter, but.
And that's just going to be a pass out of Random. If anything scary comes down from Cheeser, you get the Leona down, but nothing actually comes, and Great Beyond is currently representing lethal. In theory, anyway.
Well, yeah, and the other thing, too, is even if there is another Ruination, obviously Great Beyond with Spell Shield, we'll be able to live through that. We even have... Oh, no, for some reason I thought Moonsilver was the one that gives Spell Shields. Never mind. I forget I was ever going to say that.
No. We
have a Diana... I mean, do we just go for the Great Beyond lethal here?
I mean, you can play Diana and you still have Moonsilver onto the Great Beyond, which I think you wanted to play anyway because it does get you a little bit more heal. There's an Avalanche. That means Ruination is off the table, and so is any way to actually stop the Great Beyond, pop the Spell Shield and kill it. So Random 7 looks like he's going to be able to keep his tournament hopes alive and move up to a 4-2 record here, and then he's just got to sit back and cross his fingers.
Yeah, this is going to be a 14 attack, so I was going to say maybe like a Flash Freeze and a Vile Feast, but that's not going to quite do it. Troll Chant and Flash Freeze.
Yeah, it would have to be 2 burst speed ways to do it, but then you can just... Oh, no, Hush wouldn't quite do it because it is going to set it back down to 8 attack.
It's going to have to be... It has to be Troll Chant Flash Freeze, I believe. Or like Vile Feast Flash Freeze. So I think... No matter
Vile
what,
Feast Flash Freeze doesn't do it because then the Vile Feast resolves.
Right,
you have to pop it with a burst spell if you're going to freeze it. And there's the Troll Chant. Do we have the Flash Freeze follow up?
Yep. Wow.
And
there it is.
So I mean, you can Hush to go to 8 attack, but I don't know that you really care to push the damage when you're really all in on this Great Beyond being the lethal threat here.
Yeah, 8 damage isn't really going to do much, especially when your opponent might just be able to heal some up anyways. I don't know if you'll ever get over the 15, but
Yeah, and the Hush is going to be pivotal for actually blocking against something like a Field of Rush, but no, it's going to be Ruination. But
there it is.
That does give Random a lot of room to develop the board this turn.
Yeah, this is going to be a very wide board now. Yep, we're going to start with Ravoon. We get not the best. Right now, you probably wanted some sort of follower there. But we still are going to be able to develop Leona as well, which is going to lead to us having some stuns to go ahead and attack next turn. So things are still looking pretty good.
Worth noting, there are no more Ruinations on the side of Cheeser. He's not going to have any spell mana on the following turn, so Field of Rush is off the table. If you probably want to wait until next turn to play the Leona so that you can stun out the Trapper first, and then because you have Ravoon Leona, you can play a Shield Bearer if anything else comes out. Going to play mana efficiently, get the heal here. The Scourge could get picked up, or the Destroyer, and Living Legend's even an option, and I don't think Cheeserdude's going to have a way out of this one. He did have all of the necessary pieces to take care of the Great Beyond, but that was a lot of resources committed.
Yeah, and I mean, slowly but surely, this deck is winning me over just a little tiny bit every time. I still think it's terrible, but it's every single time I see it win, I understand it just that much more.
Here comes Shield Bearer number 2.
Yeah.
Do you have another unit? Here comes Shield Bearer number 3.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter at this point. And even then, oh no, actually, we can't play Sunburst. Yeah, there's a Trapper.
There's a Trapper. Here's a Shield Bearer. And now I think even if you play another unit on the side of Cheeser, if you block the Ravoon, we still have lethal between the Leona and the 2 Solari Shield Bearers. So I would imagine that Random should be able to pick this one up no problem. Even has the Hush in case there is another Flash Freeze alongside an additional unit. Atrocity at the face out of Cheeserdude in there is the surrender. So Random 7.
Wow.
To take it with a 4-2 record, kind of has to sit back and see how everything plays out. His top cut life is out of his hands at this point, but he has done all that he can in order to put himself in that position. All
right, Random gonna do it, which means when everything is said and done, yes, Random will be making the top cut alongside Trevo, Cephalopod, Hot Soup, Macon Jackson, and others. It's going to be pretty late. There's a lot of amazing people in the top cut, so very excited to bring you guys the top cut coverage. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow. Wait, that's like the same thing. Don't forget to hit the like button and turn on the bell. That's what I meant. And yeah, that way when the next videos go up, you get notified. Jesus, man. You'd think after saying this a million times I'd get it by now. As always, everybody, stay healthy, stay positive. I hope shit just works for you, and peace out.